Okay, hey, what's going on, you guys? Matthew here, and I'm going to be doing kind of a different video today. We're going to be editing some photos here on Lightroom. As you guys can see, I have this whole area right here kind of set up and ready to go. This is photos that I just took recently, like a week or two ago, just randomly doing like a fun little walk around the neighborhood near me, and I just wanted to shoot during golden hour. So I'm really excited to get into these, and I just kind of wanted to have you guys jump in with me and kind of see how I edit some photos. So we're going to jump right in and get started. Right now we have this first one right here. It's kind of fun. So what I kind of like to do to start off with editing photos is I like to go to this tool right here. Kind of like you can like crop and manipulate photos, move them around. I like to straighten my photos out a little bit. I kind of use my keyboard. I don't have a camera facing my keyboard at the moment, but I probably should have. But you can like up and down arrow these kind of things and straighten it out a little bit, and I kind of just go based off my eye, or I try to like find something within the image that's more straight. Like I'm going to use this pole for instance. As long as I'm hovering over this little angle tool right here, I can get it. I try to straighten it out, see if I can get that straight. I think that's okay. That looks good. Alright, so I'm just going to come down here, hit done. I like that angle. It's a lot better than it was before. Sometimes I like to start off a photo just by hitting auto to see kind of like what it throws at me. Kind of it like lightens up kind of things, and I kind of like to edit it off of. I kind of like to edit the the photo. Wow, this is not fun. I've never done something like this before. But yeah, no, I kind of like to start off basing an edit off of the auto feature, and I like to go from there. Sometimes I don't, because sometimes it just destroys a photo and it's just terrible. So we're not going to do that right now. We're going to just kind of go with, I do like this one though. I'm going to bring up the kind of golden, more yellow color, the temperature on this, kind of give it more of a golden hour look. And then I kind of come down here to this little, the tone curve. And I remember a friend of mine told me to always do like an S curve, but I've kind of come to find that it's a little difficult sometimes to get the right curvature. I don't know a lot about photography. If you really want to know like different tools and such, I kind of just go based off my eye, and that's kind of hard to do for some people. Or like to understand how I do that. I just kind of go based off like what my eyes see, and like I just kind of like, obviously like that's how I enjoy a photo, and I try to like edit it based off of that. So I don't really have like any technique to go with or based off of exposure. Initially I start off of a photo, taking a photo with my camera, and I'll take the picture, and if it looks good to my screen and or my viewfinder, if it's in focus and whatnot, I go based off of that. So I don't really have like a big technique when it comes to like taking photos and editing them, other than I just kind of like go with the flow. So I'm going to kind of move this around. I usually go about halfway on this one right here. I do put 3 of these little dots right here, and then I like to bring this one about halfway to kind of see where it brings me. We'll see what this one does. I kind of like to bring it down this way. It kind of like darkens up those shadows. Let's see, I kind of like that. I like that little golden color right there that's giving me right here. So that's cool. We're going to bring that up right there. I like that a lot. And then this guy kind of either moves side to side. I don't really bring him up or down. I think kind of like right there is perfectly fine. That looks great. And then I'm going to come back up here to the tone sliders, and I kind of like will bring my like exposure slider up and down or not. And I know I probably go backwards with this. Most people probably go the other way around. But that's just me. I don't know. It's just the way I edit. I like to have a lot of shadows in my photos, kind of like give it more of a moody vibe when it comes to certain photos. And sometimes I just like to bring all the blacks either all the way down or at least to the point where it's like you can almost barely see it. But I do like the little light fixture right here, so I'm going to try to keep that there to kind of give you some depth. We're going to bring the vibrance up just a little bit and the saturation. Bring that contrast up a little bit, or down a little bit. Yeah, we're going to bring that contrast up just a little bit. I don't know if that brought it up either or not, but I kind of like where that's at right there, and I'm going to just move on down here to these, the HSL sliders, the color sliders. You know. If you don't know, I'm sorry. But yeah, so we're going to play around with some orange here. I'm going to kind of like bring it down just a tiny bit on the orange and the yellow. I don't want it too golden to where it's like it doesn't seem natural. I like to try to keep my photos a little bit natural. You can see some green down here, and it's a little bit blurry, but I like to try to bring up the green a little bit. So, kind of give it some more greenery vibes and bring that up a little bit right there. I think that's pretty good so far. Let's see what that blue does. I kind of want to keep that blue in there from the sky. Let's see if I can keep it in there. I'll bring that down just a little bit, and then bring that one down just a little bit as well. As you can see, you can start seeing some blue sky up here in the top parts of the photo. Sometimes I do a split tone, sometimes I don't. It really depends on the image. This one I'm not going to do anything about it. I like to zoom out on this little sharpening tool. Normally if I'm doing portraits, I'll zoom out on someone's eye and try to sharpen the eye up if it's in focus. Right now we're going to like zoom in on this pole because it's like the most forward thing in the photo, and I'm going to bring my sharpening tool up almost to like where it hits the red in this little bar. As you can see, it kind of looks like a graham cracker. S'mores, anyone? So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to bring up the masking tool a little bit, kind of bring up that detail tool, and I kind of just do this until like my eyes kind of like what looks like right here. Like I kind of like stare at this while I'm moving those sliders up and down until like I'm really happy with it. And then I try to bring up that noise reduction because I don't really like too much gain or grain in my photos. Sometimes I do if I'm trying to like mimic film photography, but right now I'm not. And right now I think that's a good photo. I think that looks great. So yeah, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to press the letter P here on my keyboard, and it's going to shortcut it as a flag as pick. And that way when I come down here to filters, it's filters off always until I'm done editing all my photos, and then I go down to flagged, and it'll show me every one that I picked, and then I can export those photos into a new file. So we're going to leave that right there for now, and we're going to move on to the next photo. The next one's going to be this car. I really liked this car. I tried to like cut out half of it, but I just like the way that the light was hitting the car, so we're going to go back up to the top here. Sometimes I will take a photo and I will hit Command C, and that lets me like copy everything I just did with this one photo, and I can go do another photo. So let's say I'm doing a photo shoot and it's all like very similar exposures and such like that. I'm going to try to keep it all similar, so I kind of just copy paste and I move it over to the next one, and that just kind of like cuts time for me on when I'm editing photos. The last photo shoots I did 2 photo shoots, and when I edited all the photos, it took me 6 hours to edit all the photos. It was just brutal because there were so many different types of like lighting and exposure and just different vibes. These are all kind of similar colors, I feel like, with these photos. So I'm just going to try to keep it all in the same area. So I'm going to hit Command V, and it's going to paste what I just did from the other photo to this one, so you can kind of see. Now I'm going to press Y so you can kind of see that before and after. I kind of like that already. I'm not going to really touch that up too much. We're going to press Y again to get out of that. I'm going to zoom in just to check to see if I'm missing anything. I think I'm going to turn the green down just a little bit, or at least turn up this like pink right here. Ooh. Yeah, I kind of like that pink. Maybe like turn that back down actually. I don't really like it too much. We're going to bring that green back down about there, and I'm going to actually bring it down this way on the luminance. But I kind of like that, so I'm going to leave it like that. I think that looks great. I don't think I need to even it out or anything. I think it's a perfect angle. So we're just going to leave that. I'm going to press P. We're going to move on. The next one is this. It's just a tree, I guess, on the, kind of like a back alleyway. I don't really like the cars in this photo too much. I'm just going to copy and paste it, see what this looks like. I don't like that. See, sometimes it just destroys the photo. So I'm going to press Command Z to undo what we just did. I don't think I'm going to edit this one. I don't really care for it, so I'm just going to move on to the next one. I really like this photo. I took it a few times, tried to get a good photo of it. I think I'm going to go with the middle one, though. I think that one looks the best. We're going to straighten it out. And again, I'm kind of just going based off this little, like, the bar right here that's holding the sign up. I like the ivy on the back of this thing. It's really cool. We're gonna hit auto. So as you can see, like, the auto just kind of really brightens everything up. I forget what lens I used on all these photos. I think it was just this one, my Yashinon lens that's on my camera currently at the moment. I'm gonna actually hit Command Z. I'm gonna start fresh from this one. I'm gonna bring up that exposure to a point where I think it looks good. Maybe some contrast. We're gonna definitely bring up that yellow luminance, kind of give it that golden hour color. I'm gonna come down here to the tone curve, and we're gonna just move this stuff around right here. Alright, so I guess my camera can only shoot in increments of like 10 or so minutes, so I'm just gonna have to keep pressing record. So if this is kind of choppy, I'm very sorry. Some of these bits I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just have the screen capture of this video of what I'm doing right here with the screen capturing. I might not do all these photos, but I'm definitely gonna go ahead and edit a lot of these. If I'm not talking, I'm very sorry. But at the very end, I'm definitely going to show all of the highlights of which photos I actually liked, and I'm going to put those all towards the end of the video. So definitely stay tuned for that. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and just keep editing. I'll let you guys just kind of enjoy this. So yeah, here we go. If you just hear a voiceover though, that's absolutely me just going to be talking. So let's get into the editing. So here we are again, editing. Yeah. Alright, so to continue editing, I went to go grab a drink real quick, so I apologize about the weird spacing and choppiness of this video stuff. Here's me opening my drink. I got really hot, so I'm drinking a peach nectarine Red Bull, for anyone wondering. But yeah, so we're gonna get back into editing these photos here. Just real quick, I'm gonna turn off all these lights because now I don't need them around me while I'm not having any bits and bits on me. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off this big light as well. Excuse me for my pause. Hope you guys are enjoying this video though. But yeah, so we're gonna keep going on with this photo of this. Stop sign. Sorry, random pause again. I totally just blanked. Alright, so here we go. We're going to be going down to the... What was I doing? Oh yeah, so I just finished my S curve, my tone curve. I like where that's at so far, so we're going to start moving around these on these tone sliders to kind of get like the exposure and the contrast. Maybe move some highlights and shadows up and down a little bit. I kind of like to make my photos a little bit moody. I know each, obviously, photographer is going to be a little bit different, and that's totally fine. I really like, like I said, moody photos. I really like greens and yellows when it comes to my photos. And as you guys know, I shoot with vintage glass, so like I feel like that kind of also helps my photos get that tone that I like, I guess. Visual tone, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to bring up, I don't really mess with the hue on anything because I don't like to like alter the colors to make them like weird, like, because you totally could make like alder green like this, like kind of yellow, and maybe if it was like fall I would do something like that, but this is like ivy, so it doesn't really make any sense to do something like that. None of these other ones really do anything because there's no other colors but green kind of in this one, so we're just going to kind of like bring up that green, kind of make it more of a lush green, more natural looking. And then I kind of like to darken it down here in the luminance, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to zoom in on some leaves here in the detail area for when I sharpen this up, so I'm going to kind of like base it. You can see like the grain kind of sharpening there, and the way to get rid of that grain is you kind of bring up your noise reduction, so it kind of brings that back down and smooths it out. And like with the photo here, you can kind of see like it kind of makes it a little bit more blurry, but I like the way it looks. So that's just me, and then I put a little bit of masking on it and bring up the detail just a tiny bit, and I think that looks great. So as you can see, like the before and after really brought out the tones and that kind of straightened it out. So that's that. And like I said, I'm just going to keep going on with some of these photos. Let's see here. We're going to go ahead and pick that one. I might do like 3 or 4 more photos, maybe 3 more photos while I'm doing this video, and then I'll show you guys the rest of the photos towards the end. So I'm going to try to find one. I really like these little flowers. These are really pretty. Might go with this one. No. I know the one that I really wanted to edit the most, and the reason why I came back to shoot all these photos was this. So this building is not too far away from where I live. It's like a block or 2 away. And I just love the way that the shadows of that tree hit that building during the sunset. It was like this like 3 days before this photo was taken, and I took an image on my phone and I really liked it, so I wanted to recreate it with like my actual camera. So we're gonna go ahead and edit this one. We're gonna go ahead and bring down that exposure just a tiny bit, just kind of like help those shadows, bring up those shadows a little bit. So we're gonna bring up those shadows, we're gonna darken them a little. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. I guess we'll bring up the blacks down. Ooh. Bring down those highlights just a tiny bit so you can kind of see more of those shadows on this. I've never actually talked to myself while doing these kind of photos, like editing. I usually just listen to music, kind of just like zone out. So if it sounds a little bit weird while I'm talking, I'm so sorry. But I do hope you guys enjoy this kind of video. Like I said, this is like the first time I've done something like this. I don't really think there's like secrets to photo editing. Like obviously like everyone's got their own way of doing their own thing. So that's that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do some more. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I like to bring up that little like detail right there so you can kind of see like, hey, that's a tree. That's a tree. Just a little bit on that one right there. That's fine. So again, I'm just kind of like moving these little sliders around to kind of like figure out what I like and what I'm not liking right now. I'm going to try to bring down the whites a little bit. Sometimes when a photo is a little overexposed, the whites are going to be very blown out. Honestly, I'm thinking I haven't trimmed this up a little bit. I kind of want to trim off this part of the building right here because I don't really like that. I'm going to bring this up just a tiny bit to kind of get that point of that roof right there. but still keeps like the whole image that I have in mind. I think that looks a lot better. So we're gonna go with that. I'm gonna bring up the yellow on this, kind of bring it more towards the warmer tone, kind of give the rest of the building some warm vibes here. We might bring the orange down just a tiny bit. Maybe just the yellow just down a tiny bit, kind of give... The house itself is like kind of a peachish orange color anyways, so it's really nice, and I'm really glad that nobody was like coming out to like, what are you doing? Why are you taking pictures of our building? And it's like a kind of like a boarding house kind of looking thing. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to darken this up a little bit to kind of give it more of that. I think what I really wanted to do was just kind of like sharpen it up so it had more detail to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in on these like shadows right here to kind of try to get what I want. I'll do that real quick. So as you can see, like right here, it's kind of like bringing in that color. Right now it's kind of a little bit grainy because of the noise reduction and whatnot. We're gonna go ahead and bring that right back up. A video idea I had for the future was I kind of wanted to edit some of your guys' photos if you had any, but I don't think have that many people watching this that have photos that they want me to edit. But I'm totally would be like down to like edit some people's like phone photos. Like let's say you take a selfie or it's just like a random photo that you took on like a vacation or something. I think that'd be kind of fun. If you guys are kind of into that, just let me know. I would totally be down to do that. So that's that. We're gonna go. I think I like it. I think I'm gonna bring down the exposure just a little bit more though. Kind of give it that more golden hour vibe here. I think right there is good. I like that a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and pick that. I'm gonna Command C, copy this. I'm gonna throw it on right here as well. I got another angle of it with some like grass as a foreground. So I'm gonna go ahead and Command V it. We're gonna bring up the exposure just a little bit on this guy. That's not what we wanted. Let's bring the blacks out a little bit. I want to bring those highlights down though. I like that a lot. That's nice. Yeah, so not too much is changing in this photo. I'm just kind of tweaking a little bit of these sliders here down, the sharpening and the masking and like stuff. I'm gonna sharpen that just a little bit more, but I do like that a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and pick that. Let's go ahead and try to find one, maybe two more photos to edit here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do one of these. I liked this car a lot. I'm just gonna, yeah, it's very classy. You see what I mean? I wish this other car wasn't behind it. It would have been able to get like a better angle of it. But we're gonna go ahead and edit this guy. We're gonna hit auto on this one. Kind of give it that tone. Bring up the warm tone in this image. I'm gonna go ahead and straighten it out a little bit too because it's kind of crooked. Just kind of like bring it to a nice little spot there. I think that looks fantastic. Great little car. I kind of should have went with like a wide angle on this car, but it's just that other car was annoying me so much, and I believe there was like a trash can or something like right over here as well, and it was just super annoying. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my little dots there. I kind of put them on each square, so as you can kind of see, like this is like a grid. So I kind of go with like the square there, the corner there, the corner there, and just kind of go based off that. I know some people kind of like to throw another one in between each of those as well. And that's a little extreme for me. I don't like to do that. Why did that zoom in? That's weird. But yeah, so I like to kind of just do that instead. I just like to do the 3 points, or the 2 extra points in it. 3 points? I think I had 3 points, yeah, because it's just like one curve. Yeah, I like that a lot. I like to bring in those like shadows on cars like this, especially when they have like that shine, kind of like that first car image. There's this old kind of like 50s. I almost want to say DeVille, but I don't even know if that's like a correct term or like the kind of car that it is that's like parked here in downtown. I plan on trying to find it, and I want to take a picture of it and edit it because it looks so cool all the time, and it's always just parked by itself. It's like this long white like boat looking car, and I just really want to take a picture of it sometime. Maybe we'll do that sometime in the future. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and come back up here to my sliders. Let me bring up a little bit of the highlights there, bring down some blacks, kind of give it that realness to it. So as you can see so far, it looks pretty different, what we've done with it. I'm going to bring up the blues on it. I know it's going to kind of make it look a little ridiculous, but I want to make it look really, really cool. I don't like to alter too many things in my photos, like I said, like all these power lines I'm definitely going to keep because I just like that vibe where it's just, you know, like this is downtown. So we're going to bring up the blues here, the sky blue. I'm going to bring down some of the orange just a little bit, and some down of this yellow, and maybe a little bit down of the red. Kind of like pull the red out of those power lines up there. I'm going to come back down here, we're going to click that, we're going to drag that up like that. We're going to zoom in on this headlight right here, kind of get so that we can figure out where we want that sharpness, because like I said, this is kind of like the foreground. And kind of like that's how I base up how sharp I want a photo. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring this up just a little bit on that masking tool. I'm going to bring that noise reduction up just a little bit until I don't see any grain in the little tiny photo right here. And I think that looks phenomenal so far. I might just tweak a little bit more blue down here, kind of bring it a little bit to a darker color. Maybe a little bit of sky blue up. Yeah, I like that a lot. Alright. So I think that looks great. I think it's the last photo I'm going to edit here on the video, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and show you guys all the pictures that I've edited throughout all these photos. There was like 88 photos here. You can see I selected 88 photos. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys all the good ones here. So enjoy. Alright y'all, I appreciate you checking out this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Enjoy your day, capture and cherish the moments, and take care. Peace.